United States Marine Corps, 6th Combat Battalion. You're watching Fox and Friends.
Hey, there's a new way you can catch an instant estimate of the price of any home. We're going to reveal the at-home tool that may forever change the way you buy and sell homes.
All right, an increasing number of home buyers are turning to the internet, with some people even buying their houses online.
Yeah, so what's driving buyers to the web? Internet trend expert and AOL.com consumer advisor Regina Lewis has the answer. This is really fascinating because I don't own property yet, and so I'm looking.
Right.
How does it work to get information, check on houses online?
Well, you can buy aspirationally, by the way. At lunchtime, you can look at homes in Aspen and Telluride and dream a little. I find that to be quite fun. But the draw online is to get information. It used to be you had to go to a real estate office and get the comps or that big MLS multiple listing book, and it's sort of coveted, you know, could I please look at the book?
Right.
Now,
only if you sign on with us, they say.
Exactly.
And only if you're willing to pay our commissions.
Right. So you had to sign your life away to look at the darn book. Now you can go to sites like Realtor.com and see. Also, everybody goes to bed at night wondering, what could we get? There's a big difference between what a house often lists for and what it ultimately sells for. What you really want to know is, what did it sell for? What
you mean
did the
what
neighbors
our
pay?
house is worth right now?
Yes, so, because most people have to sell in order to buy. So you go to bed at night, it's your biggest asset, and you say, what do you think we could get? And most people tend to inflate that number in their head. So there's a new site, which is what we're really here to talk about, called Zillow.com, where that gives you what they call a Zestimate.
And how do you get that? What do you actually get?
You go to Zillow.com, you type in, it is so easy, your address, your zip code, and then boom, it gives you an estimate. What they've done essentially is aggregate all that data, which is public information. It just would have taken you weeks to get it. And they come up with, it's a proprietary formula, an estimate, but they say it's usually within 10% of what homes ultimately sell for, so fairly accurate.
Well, you know what? I just went online and I typed in my house.
Yes.
And it had the estimate of the tax estimate, the assessment. But my town has, the home values have doubled or tripled in the last couple of years, so it's actually a little out of date. It's all dependent upon the public record information. So if your town hasn't updated the stuff, it may be a little behind the curve.
Great point, and it's better in some areas than others for exactly that reason. Depends on how good the source information is. Those historical charts are neat, though. So, for instance, you hear on the news, housing starts are up, or that, and you think, all right, well, what does that mean to me? On the charts that you see there, it will tell you, listen, yeah, your home is up over a year or up over 5 years, but you're down since December. You know, yikes. Last week I lost $17,000 on my home, just based on what was, you know, fluctuating in the market. Plus they give you those overhead views. Did you see that, Steve? With your house.
It's absolutely two views.
Yeah.
There are two views, a front view and a back view, and you could actually see, we need curtains.
Yeah. You can see who has a pool and who doesn't.
That's right. My neighbor does and I don't. How many people, Regina, go online to different websites and buy a house and never walked in it, never actually looked at it?
That's a very small number. They have it at about 1%. I think that's, probably
still a lot of people.
Yeah, I bet
like it, I'll take it.
I bet you it's second homes, right? It's the condo in Phoenix. I own another one. I think I'll buy a second.
Because that's nuts. That is just plain nuts.
But how does a real estate agent then fit into the process? If you can go online, find out the estimate, find all the information, how does a real estate agent
great
fit
question.
into that?
I remember when this first started, I covered it and everyone said, well, that's it for real estate agents. It's actually worked in their favors because the average person looks at 9 homes before purchasing. If they can cut that down to 4 because people found their leads online and said, listen, I want to see this one, I want to see that one, great. That's how they make more money. Also, that big book that we're talking about and the site, they give you everything but the address. So you still have to go to the realtor in order to see the actual home, but you make a much more informed decision. By the way, they have info like SAT scores, crime rates, etc. So if you're really relocating far away, you can get to know the area.
Plus, also on the internet, I know historically, regular brick-and-mortar realtors charge you something like 6% to sell your house, commission-wise. But a lot of the internet places charge far less.
If you want to go that route, you know, it has some downside as well. I'll also say this: if you are listing a home, don't let a realtor tell you that, oh, that internet stuff doesn't matter. Insist on great photos, 3D virtual tours if you're in a certain price point, because it really does matter from a marketing standpoint. If almost 80% of people are looking online before they buy, you want to be there. It's now the biggest source of leads, even bigger than signs in front of homes.
Great information.
Regina Lewis, AOL.com consumer advisor. Thank you very much.
Of course, thanks.
Once again, that website was Zillow.com, and the other one she mentioned was Realtor.com. Thanks, Regina.
Sure. All right.